Hey y'all, I'm gonna go over today's assignment just in case either you missed class or you were confused during class. You can look back to this video. So this is the week 24, day 1, lesson 1. This is our first lesson of the populations and resources unit. This activity that we're doing is going to be exploring populations and how a population could grow or shrink or stay the same size throughout time. If you didn't go to class, you do still need to click through these slides, read through the information. What I'm going through right now is just the activities that we do at the end of class. So starting with the first one, you're gonna go through lesson 1, mission 1, mission 2, mission 3. The goal of each of these is to model a population changing throughout 6 years. The first mission, we want to make the population size stay the same. So you're going to need 26 small items, whether that is like pinto beans, like I'm using, paper clips, coins. You could even get a piece of paper and rip it up. We're going to start out by putting 14 of our organisms or our living things onto into our population. So I'm using this plate right here as my population. If a bean is on here, that means that that's an organism that is alive in my population. So I need to start out with 14. There's 7. 14. Okay. So here is my 14 items. This is my starting population. Every year, for each of these years, 1 to 3 organisms needs to die, and 1 to 3 organisms must be born. Because remember, in a population, there are always births and deaths happening. So to make an organism die, I'm going to take an organism, take one of my beans, and remove it from the pile. To make one born, I'm going to take a bean from my bowl and put it into the population. So I'm going to put the data into this table right here. There are 2 ways I can do this, either by clicking on this text box button right here and drawing a text box. From here I would type. Or I can click on this little down arrow next to the line and select the scribble. Scribble might be the easiest. So this is the scenario where I had 1 bean be born and 1 bean died. So I know that I started with 14, I add 1, that's 15, minus the 1 death, I am back to 14 organisms. I'm going to do that 5 more times. So that was my first year. We're going to track this throughout 6 years. Okay? So I'm going to pause it and we'll come back to that. Alright, so I went ahead and did all of the different births and deaths, or maybe 2 births for the next year, 2 deaths, all of that for the 6 years. Now I'm going to add up all of the births that happened throughout the 6 years. So that's 1 plus 2 is 3, plus another is 4, 7, 9, 10. If I did my math wrong, I'm sorry. 1 plus 2 plus 1, that's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So you can see over the 6 years, it varied each year, but in total I had 10 births and 10 deaths. So these aren't the exact same beans that I started with, but I do still have 14 beans in my population. Now I'm going to graph it. So what I'll do is I'll look at each year. I'm going to go up the line that corresponds to that year and put a mark next to 14 because I want to mark the total number of organisms that there were in each year. So in year 1, there were 14. So, you know what, let me make this a little bit bigger and I'll just do a dot right here. Oh, that's not big enough. Year 2, I had 14. Year 3, I had 14. Year 4, I had 14. Year 5, 14. And year 6, 14. It's okay if this is a little bit messy. Now what I want to do is I want to connect the dots. So starting with at year 0, I'm going to connect all of the dots through here. And you'll see that that makes a pretty straight line. That's what we're looking for, because remember our goal here was to have the population stay the same over time. I'm done with this one, so I'm going to go to mission 2. This is pretty much the exact same. I'm still starting with 14 beans in my pile, but instead of ending up with 14, I want to end up with more than 14. So I need to make my births and deaths such that I end up with more than 14 beans in my population, more than 14 organisms in my population. So for example, if I have 2 births and 1 death, I started with 14, then I added 2, that's 16, but one of these died, I'm at 15. Oop, that's a really bad 5. So I'm going to keep doing this and make it so that my final year there is more than 14. I'm already at more than 14, so I'm at a good start. Again, you get to pick how many are born and how many die each year, as long as your final year is more than 14. We're going to do the same thing over here where we plot. We're going to draw a dot for each year. So year 1, that would be 15 instead of 14. After we draw all the dots, we're going to again connect the lines. For this one, we should see that our line is probably going to go up when we're done with it. All right. Then we'll do the same thing for mission 3, only this time we want to make sure that our population size decreases over time. So there should be fewer than 14 organisms here at the end. Please let me know if you have any questions at all. Yeah, you got this. I believe in you.